judging by the marketing, you won't really know that too much.
Have no idea.
So I guess there's the positive side of the marketing. Like, you don't know how politically heavy this movie's gonna be, you crazy little kid. Hello and welcome to Cassette Take, where you can eject wherever you want, but please don't forget to rewind. I'm Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And Annmarie, what we just got out of seeing?
We just got out of seeing one battle after another.
Yes, one battle after another, and it is indeed Paul Tom Anderson, our boy PTA, his latest at bat at the helm, and it's something. It's truly something.
Let's just start off with this. The marketing for this movie sucked.
Oh, yes.
Like, complete trash.
Yeah, okay, listen.
I was not looking forward to seeing this movie. I told Ethan, I'm like, I don't want to see this movie. I have no desire. I have no pull. PTA isn't a pull, like, for me, for Ethan.
I was going to say you have to specify it for me there.
Yes, because he's a pull for you, not for me. And it's better than its marketing makes it out to seem.
Yeah, listen, I just saw PTA's name, like, in the trailer when that trailer first dropped. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm there. You got Leo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, and
fantastic crew, honestly.
Oh yeah, cast and crew were wonderful. Sean Penn as well. I mean, it was truly a great ensemble he had there. And the marketing really made it seem a little too silly at times. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the marketing for Caught Stealing a little bit. Not maybe as much of a differentiation here as it was for Caught Stealing, but it was just it's like if I didn't know who Paul Thomas Anderson was and what he was capable of, and we were just going off of the trailers alone, I'd be like, why do I care? Like, I mean, it just seems like a silly satire on contemporary America, and there's plenty of that out there. But at end of the day, when you go to see this movie, it does truly deliver. I will say, at the end of the day, it does deliver. Now, before we get into it, for all you who don't know, this movie is essentially about a man named quote-unquote Bob, who is a former revolutionary in modern-day America trying to save his daughter. And that's all I'll say, because I do not want to give too much away, because this movie really unravels in multiple different ways, and I don't know, I think that's kind of part of the whole experience.
Yeah, I think this movie is really good for the time we're in right now. I think that's the best thing I could say without going into spoilers. But overall, I did really enjoy this film. I, again, was not looking forward to it. Didn't think it looked good. Just didn't have a draw to it. Also, the runtime, I was like, this is a really long movie, 2 hours and 42 minutes. But overall, I think the cast really sold it, but the story really sold it for me.
Yeah, I have to really agree there. Okay, going into the first act of the movie, it has a really great, like, start with the first few minutes, and then after the first few minutes, you're like, oh, it's gonna be kind of one of these movies? Like, that's an interesting way of going about it. Not what I was expecting, but okay. And then it takes another turn, and then it takes another turn, and it's just like a constant roller coaster of what kind of movie this wants to be, but like in a good way, where by the time you get to the second act, which Annmarie and I both agree, the second act of this movie, holy shit, it's peak Paul Thomas Anderson.
Peak cinema.
Truly. And you can't help but think, without how the first act was handled, we wouldn't get that same feeling by the second act. It was truly a great build-up to that, a great setup, but you don't realize in the moment as we're watching that first act. And then by the time we get to the third act, listen, it's good through and through, but that second act, though, it is just such a great deliverance.
Yeah, that second act is just outstanding. The writing, the acting, the chemistry on, like, cinematography, it's all on point and it really thrives. And it felt like that opening credits, like everything before the title card comes off. I'm like, wow, this is really good. This is like really like profound. And like you said, it dips a little bit. Not, I wouldn't say like dips in quality, but dips in excitement.
Like momentum shift.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a very big momentum shift, but that second act, yeah, I understand you need the first and third to really begin it and end it, but something about that second act is
Oh,
just changed.
it's the juicy meat, man, like, and honestly, I would put it as soon as Benicio del Toro's character enters the movie,
Yes.
I think might be my favorite performance of his, like, it's my favorite character of
Really?
his, and I mean, that's saying something because he portrays some great characters.
That's crazy that, yeah, he's really good in it. Like for the amount of time he's in it, he's really good for it. So,
Yeah, and I don't know, just, like, the combination of how the character's written with how he portrays it and how Paul Thomas Anderson, like, really conveys it with the directing, it really I don't know, everything about that performance just worked for me in all the right
mhm.
ways, and by the time that, you know, his character's, performance is done, he's played his role in the movie, it's just like, "Bring him back."
I want him
I
back.
want him more. I want more. I mean, Leo DiCaprio's great, and there's truly a pivotal moment in the movie where you can tell this is where it picks up. This is where it's like the true
Mhm.
juicy meat of it all, like we were saying. But man, if I were to kind of give like a general overview of what I liked most about it, it's gotta be Benicio del Toro, like, and just through and through his essence and part of that second act.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think that this will continue Warner Brothers' streak of $40 million opening?
So 40 million? I think so. I think there's a decent enough crowd, PTA fans out there that despite the marketing for the movie, I think will be interested. I think people are interested in seeing whoever Leo DiCaprio is in, so you blend that audience in there too. And then also just generally a lack of, fall being kind of a lack of content, relatively speaking. I mean, this fall we've had some good stuff here and there, but this truly is an epic film. It's not marked much that way, but word of mouth might spread and curiosity. It might have a Civil War effect, like you were bringing this
Yeah.
up earlier. It's reminds you a little bit of Civil War with how real and contemporary it is, but I feel like it as a result of that, we are going to find that that might also affect the box office numbers and bring in that grand opening. Because what, that provided A24 with its biggest opening, I think.
Yeah, it was one of its biggest openings, Civil War for A24. I think also the other thing that I may say, and I don't know if this is a larger conversation to be totally honest, but there is hype about this winning Best Picture already. There's hype about that. Now, is that as big as a draw as it was 5, 10 years ago? I'm not 100% sure. Again, that's another conversation. But just even that, like, Best Picture, like, conversation, I think could push it to 40 million. I think it's gonna be really close. Like, I worried that this would come in at, like, 38 million.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's just how many true cinema fans like are aware of PTA's greatness right now
Mhm.
compared to There Will Be Blood, during that period of time where he was at his peak. I'm not sure what was the box office numbers for Licorice Pizza.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I have to look it up then.
I mean, granted, it didn't have Leo DiCaprio starring in the movie, and I mean that's a big draw within
But that was
itself.
a Best Picture contender too.
Right. I I mean, in regards to box office, I think overall it's gonna hit that 40. In regards to Best Picture, I I think it will be nominated. I
Oh, it's
it's
gonna be
definitely
nominated.
yeah, if we're going the route of just Hollywood playing politics and wanting to make a message, sure, I could see it winning Best Picture in that case. But also keep in mind, Andor didn't win Best Drama at the Emmys, the Primetime Emmys. It won Best Writing, but didn't win the big award of Best Drama, which went to The Pit.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it's really a balancing act of like what they're gonna be looking for here and how much people are motivated to either make a message or be like, oh, I think that this movie is better than Paul Thomas Anderson's, one battle after another. So, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be either those or the ones that want to go after, yeah, this movie's better, but we want to make a message here, and there are those out there that do that.
Yeah, and again, this year is. I feel like this year's a big year for Best Picture nominations. Like, I think Christie could do well. I think Smashing Machine could do well. There's so many more in talks of it. So I know it's super early on, but we are entering that Oscar season, and so I don't know. I think it's too early to tell to be like, "That's Best Picture," but we'll have to see. I did look it up. I wasn't able to get the opening numbers for Licorice Pizza, but it made 33 million worldwide.
That movie made 33 million worldwide. What did you see? What did domestically?
Domestically, I believe it was like 15.
Okay, so yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be double that at the least.
Oh yeah.
For this movie, based on our audience, I don't know. I think it's gonna be very dependent on how people are gonna be with word of mouth,
Mhm.
and at the same time, again, like you brought up the longevity of this movie, that length, that runtime. It's just you really have to trust that the movie's gonna be great, and it's with it being a contemporary movie, do people really wanna be in a theater that long, to watch something contemporary like that? And
It's a heavy movie too.
it is. It does have a lot of, topics that are, again, contemporary in nature that are going on right now that a lot of people might not feel comfortable with sitting in a movie where they typically want to escape. And there is a lot of escapism in this movie, but it's just, again, inherently speaking, you're going to have that audience that won't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But judging by the marketing, you won't really know that too much.
Have no idea.
So I guess there's the positive side of the marketing. Like, you don't know how politically heavy this movie's gonna be, you crazy little kid. Oh boy. But getting back to the quality though of the movie, Annmarie, I don't know about you. I think this movie is definitely on the higher echelon of his PTA's work.
Mhm.
I do not put it above There Will Be Blood.
Oh, there's no way.
Yes, there's no way. Although, I never discount it out. If he's got something great that comes out and like, hey, if it's great and it's better than it, I'm open to it. This movie was not that. Was it better than my second favorite movie of his, Phantom Thread? At the end of the day, probably. I might have to give it.
Really?
Yeah, I had to think about it a little bit here, but I would say that the second act of this movie is just that juicy. I'm like, I sunk my teeth into it like it was a good old burger. And man, even though we don't need to pay with, anything other than our subscription with A-List, it really made me feel like I bought like a really good steakhouse burger.
I have to disagree with you wholeheartedly. I think Phantom Thread is better than this film, but
Mm,
also I think Phantom Thread I kind of just have a special more connection to it than this. Again, not like it's bad. I definitely think this isn't his top 3
right.
work. But it's just I don't know. For me, if you go back and watch our Civil War review, like I really go to movies to escape, and this is really heavy, and not like I disagree with the topic or anything like that. It's a really heavy film, and so it's not always my cup of tea, but I can still respect this film for like its cinematography and story and everything like that too. So
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's truly a brilliant film. It's not gonna be well, actually, I don't know. I was gonna say it's not gonna be for everybody, in the sense that, like, there are movies out there that just, again,
Mhm.
they're certain exposure that they're just not gonna be prone to, not just in the subjectivity sense. I think this kind of does a good job of balancing the pros and cons of both sides of the aisle here, and, Bob being the kind of centerpiece of an attemptive revolutionary that isn't really willing to go all the way.
Yeah, yeah, I love Leo's character. Leo's always good in everything he does, except the Revenant, but he's great in everything.
Okay. Okay, no. No, 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 we are not getting into this argument.
This is a whole nother conversation, everyone.
Oh, The Revenant is his best role. Don't even tell me. Don't
Wolf of
even.
Wall Street, what else? Titanic.
Yeah, it's better than Titanic.
Okay.
Discussion for another time.
Yes.
But okay, Amory, without spoilers, what was your favorite part of the movie? And what was your favorite shot of this movie? Because PTA's movies, they do come with great story, but part of that like is the shot as well. So I want to kind of separate that, like the story
Yeah,
itself and then the shot.
yeah. I think my favorite is it sounds cliche, but that opening sequence is such a strong opening sequence, and it had me hooked right away, where you kind of see Bob's past and how he was a part of this rebellion. And I think that was super cool to see, and it's visually like really cool to see as well. I'm always been a person who this is so cliche, but I love the rule of thirds. So there's a scene where Willa is sitting down, the daughter, and behind her is a house, and it's like all green. The color correction's really, really good in this scene. It's all green and it just matches. And she's the rule of third, basically. It's so simple, but I was like, wow, like, when you can line stuff up like that, it like tickles me. Like,
Oh yeah.
I love it. So,
Yeah, you cinema.
cinema. What about you?
So I think one of my favorite sequences, in regards to shot, has to come from that second act, of course.
Hmm.
I won't shut up about it, I know.
Yes.
But it's got to be where they're riding along they're driving the car, they're going through the streets, as this protest is going on. And Benicio del Toro is basically guiding Leo's character, Bob, throughout like the streets during this time. And I don't know, that whole sequence where he's guiding him and helping him, escape a certain situation, just it feels like it's all one shot. And
It does. Yeah.
yeah, and there are really long takes here where, there are one shots, but the whole sequence feels like one shot to me. And I think that collective there would be my one shot moment. In regards to moments, I don't know, there was something that was really nice about something in the end that really kind of was a sweet moment, but I won't get into that quite yet. Uh, Overall, I would say maybe that same thing with you, like that
Mhm.
first moment with the past, with Bob's past and just kind of how we see where they come from and how well that was handled. I think that was very well done too.
Yeah.
We've talked about this movie quite a bit,
Yes.
but before we get into any spoilers, because I feel like there's a little bit to talk about with spoilers,
Mhm.
we gotta rate this thing.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Give me my scale.
So, Anne-Marie, out of 10, what time is it?
Oh. I would give One Battle After Another a 8 out of 10. I think it's that high because I think the story really helps carry it, but also the cinematography. As someone who just loves shots and learning about shots and how to do shots, I think it's really amazing, and that's something that Paul's really good at, and so I think it's something that I can appreciate overall. But again, I think for me, the best way I could describe it is the same way I felt after Civil War. And, you know, I think for a lot of people, like, cinema's their way to escape, and this isn't, like, a escapism film, to be totally honest, and so, it's not a 10 out of 10 for me, it's probably not gonna end up on my top 5,
Mhm.
but I think overall it's a really good film.
Yeah, I would have to give it a 9 out of 10. I truly had a great blast with this movie. It is very contemporary, like we keep saying. But I think that takes balls to make a movie like this in this setting, and it just really works with that. And it almost feels like even though we see a lot of this every day, we don't really see too much of it in a cinematic sense, only like in a documentarian sense. And it was almost refreshing in a weird way to see something like this in in cinema. So I mean, and how it was done, executed, shot, acted, everything from top to bottom, so well done. I again, I don't think it's one of his like it's not gonna be There Will Be Blood where it's sheer perfection,
Mhm.
but it's close. It's close. Not as close as one would like, but I'd say it's close to where
Top 2.
yeah, top 2, top 3. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I gotta give it a really great 9 here. Through and through. 9. What time is it?
What time is it?
So, guys, that is one battle after another and what we thought about it. But, guys, we want to know what you think about it. What do you think about this battle after the other one and after the other one? Did you get involved with that battle? How about this one? No. We want to know your thoughts on all the battles after another. I'm trying like to dig myself out of a verbal hole here.
Yes.
It's just not working. Where's Bob and his pyrotechnics when you need them? So, guys, let us know your thoughts on one battle after another. We hope you have seen it. Whether you liked it, you didn't like it, let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Annmarie, I think it's about time we get into spoilers.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this because, again, we're going into spoilers. Ethan said there was one big thing that bothered him, and I have no idea what it is.
Oh, absolutely. So, spoilers starting now. Now, the thing that really bothered me about this movie was actually towards the end, and that thing would be Sean Penn's character living through a shotgun to the face,
Oh,
like in close quarters, and car crash, and then just like walking away, carrying all his gear as if it's nothing.
and his nose was like the only thing that like blew up, basically.
Like, well, I mean that's a little more believable with some of the stuff, but just the fact that he was still
He survived a
walking.
shotgun to the face.
Yeah, I was just like, and then he goes off just to be killed anyway. I mean, again, it's part of his message, maybe like, oh, it's better to have him killed by these people in the suits, these racist Santa Claus lovers in
Yeah.
suits. And I'm like, but didn't you kind of already do that with the guy that they sent anyway? But I guess they wanted to make it more like hit the nail on the head and really say, no, here's the cleanest way they could do it and get away with it. Those Santa Claus suit lovers.
You know what bothered me? They were all able to find each other when they were driving those cars. So the daughter's driving, the bad guy just decides that that's the car that the daughter's in, and then Bob is also there too. And I'm like, too easy.
Okay. I was thinking a little bit of that first, and then I thought about it. So the guy that they initially hired to take care of it, or they got the information from, that bounty hunter, that was his car. And so he knew
Oh.
that it was going to be in she was going to be in his car one way or the other.
Okay,
So he
taking
was
back my statement then.
yeah, so I mean, I don't think he was driving thinking like it was only her in the car.
Mhm.
It was him and her in the car. And obviously that wasn't the case. Now, the one that I'm like a little more of a stretch there was Bob, how Bob was found them and caught up so quick.
I guess if you're just like there's 3 cards in the middle of the desert, Yeah,
Which
and you're
ones are you gonna follow?
yeah, which one are you gonna follow? Again, it's very like nitpicky things,
Yeah.
of course, but like it doesn't affect the movie at all. Even him surviving a shotgun to the face, it doesn't affect the movie,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
it's not sheer perfection like K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
no, but it just yeah, I think with Bob though, I was just surprised with how fast his hot wired car was able to keep up with those sports cars that were driving like
Yeah.
obviously intensely fast. Granted, it took him a while to catch up, but the fact that he was as close as he was to follow them, especially after having stopped and then going underneath
hmm
to check on Sean Penn's dead character, realize he's
Yeah,
dead, look for his daughter.
he does poke him
Yeah, he pokes him.
with the. Oh,
I mean, maybe you
yeah.
could say he's unconscious, but like I thought he was dead.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's dead.
I mean, a lot of people in our theater just laughed at that. Like, wow, really? And I think there might have been a couple people that walked out of the theater at that point because I didn't see them come back.
Oh. And it was funny the certain times that people would laugh in this movie because then it would turn serious. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not laughing at anything.
Yeah, it really goes to show like who's truly disturbed out there. No, I'm kidding. But, film's subjective, and my gosh, dark humor is most certainly subjective.
Yeah, seriously.
Um, and yeah, no, I think that was like just like the main that sequence there, like those two things kind of were the main things that bothered me.
It was also a little too long. Like, I feel like the third act drags because of, like, how long that is.
Yeah, I was gonna get that feeling with how like the tracking shot was going with like the hills and all that.
They're doing that.
But then you realize where it's going with it, and like, that explains that. So it pays off that way. I think it kept a steady beat for the most part. Like,
Yeah, I thought the first and second acts kept a pretty steady beat.
yeah, and even in the third act, it kind of kept it going a bit. Like it slowed it down from the second act. Don't get me wrong, but like it for the most part kept that beat going.
It didn't feel 2 hours and 42 minutes. I didn't feel the runtime.
I felt the runtime by the time we were done watching it.
Well, yes. Yeah, but, like, in it, I was like, "Oh, I didn't feel it."
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, other than that, I don't really have any other complaints about the movie. I think spoiler territory, where we're at right now, there isn't really much else to discuss here other than the fact that like those were the issues because I think this is definitely a movie. Keep in mind, we just got out of the theater with this one.
Mhm.
PTA movies definitely are ones you want to let marinate. I know people love There Will Be Blood right out as soon as they came out of the theater and had all the thoughts and emotions about it. I did too when I saw it for the first time, but this one, I don't know. I think there's a little more to think about, especially with how contemporary it is and how what characters represent what, and just how you take yourself out of that to kind of really truly view the whole big picture with it.
Mhm.
So, and satire is a very interesting thing nowadays.
Yeah.
Isn't it always?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But Amory, I guess that about does it for us here.
Let's wrap it.
All right, guys. So thank you for joining us on this episode of Cassette Take. We hope that whether you have or haven't seen one battle after another, that you let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. We hope you haven't ejected thus far into the podcast, but whether you have or haven't, please don't forget to rewind. I've been Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And what time is it?